I see her fiddling with her buttons, so hopefully that will solve things.
10
And
seconds
we'll just go from there. So anyway, well, welcome guys. It's gonna be Clutch Gamers versus Trust. So personally, I can tell you, I have been very excited to watch Clutch Gamers. I don't know if you guys, I mean, Southeast Asian Dota fans, perhaps you've been catching some of their games. I personally have not get to see any for myself, but surely a bunch of names will recognize. A lot of like old Brave players and whatnot. So it's it should be good. We'll see. Oh, that must be Rappy, eh? The Hannah and ampersand. I don't know where the sign just came from, but I assume that's Rappy right there, since he has the right logo and everything. So we're just going to call him Rappy the entire time. And then on the side of Trust as well, of course, many notable names. Fei Mao and Lakel is probably the two biggest ones you guys will be used to. But, yeah, we're in. We're doing it. Things look good. Annie's troubleshooting. Just going to make her life work well. And she'll find her way back to us. It's going to be okay. But we'll see. In terms of drafts lately, nothing too wild or crazy. Quite a bit of Pudge I see from Trust. Personally think that hero is super good right now, so maybe we'll get to see it here. If Clutch don't ban it, we'll Trust go for the first pick Pudge. I see they did it 2 days ago against Next Gen, but it didn't work out too well. The Next Gen actually stole it for themselves and beat them with it. Ouch, that hurts. That is painful. But the Abyssal Underlord has been their most common first pick, it looks like, when it's left in the pool. At least in the past couple days there as well. So we'll have to see if that's what they want to opt for. Slide Argon, Rubik's in there. There's plenty of those nice little options. It's all about where do you want to go here as Trust. Dun, 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 dun. Mr. Cat. Gotta love Mr. Cat, guys. I see, man, team's taking their time here. It'll be the Rubik, of course. The nice, safe guy. Who else? Who else could it be? Well, Clutch Gamers. What about them? We talk a lot about Trust and their Pudges and their Abyssal Underlords. Neither of those heroes really coming out so much for Clutch. In fact, they're not even Rubik pickers by the looks of it. These guys have been more about some Disruptor, some Lone Druid. I can appreciate some of that. It'll be a Crystal Maiden this time. And there is the Lone Druid to go alongside it. So I guess if you can't get Rubik Lone Druid, you're happy with CM Lone Druid. And CM has just been tearing it up lately. And she is just... she's baller. I gotta say, personally, I'm sure... I think most support players like playing Crystal Maiden. I think they have a lot of fun playing the hero, you know? She has the mana regen, which is fantastic. Ever since Tranquils got changed way back in the day to what they are now, it's amazing on most supports. You feel so fast as Crystal Maiden. And it's kind of the dream. So the Arcane Aura will be able to help with plenty of these lanes. It doesn't work too well against Lifestealer, though. He's got that handy little rage, but against most heroes, Frostbite is much better now, of course, with all these changes to roots and root mechanics and whatnot. So we're always looking forward to some CM Dota. If there's one thing she likes, she loves having a carry that can just kind of chill by themselves for the first couple minutes. So in this case, that could be our Lone Druid here. It looks like lately they've been running him in the safe lane. So very survivable safe lane. I mean, this guy, of course, can solo off lane. He can mid. And in the safe lane himself, he doesn't need too much help because of his bear and his escape mechanisms there. And that opens up a lot of space for Crystal Maiden to just hop into that jungle right at the 30-second mark. You want to kill a big creep. You want to start your clarity. You want to kill a second big creep. And you got your Arcane Aura going. Sometimes you can be greedy. Maybe even go for a third level. Want to rotate with the Crystal Nova. But for the most part, it's all about that first minute or so. Getting that Arcane Aura up. And it just helps all your other lanes so much, right? Got all these guys that can abuse the Arcane Aura.
Hello?
Hey, you're there.
Hi. Yeah, that's always fun. The 3 a.m. blue screen on the laptop.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm impressed.
All right, loaded back in. Looks like we are well into the draft. Thank you for the cover.
No, that's good. I wasn't actually expecting you to make it back in. I thought it was over. I thought that was it. You know, maybe the house blew up or something. Rest in peace. We'll finish Mr. Cat and send over the funerals and whatnot. But perfect.
Friend, I'm insulted that you think I would bail out on Mr. Cat like that.
Well, no, it was mostly through, you know, death and destruction, but even better.
That just sounds like a coward's way out, man. We're into Mr. Cat to the bitter end. We got this.
Excellent, excellent. All right, well, now what do we got here? We got our Bat Rider, we got our Axe. Some serious quality heroes here.
All right. I'm liking what Trust have so far. I'm sure you've already talked it to death, but they got their hands on the Life Stealer, and that's usually a good sign.
10 seconds
Yep.
remaining.
Just looking for the little buddy who will be carting around said Life Stealer. So the ban on the Timber Saw, the ban on the Bat Rider makes sense.
Yeah, Slardar out of the pool as well. I see those two run together all the time.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Seem to be all right. Big names still in the pool. We do have the Weaver. We've been seeing a lot of that off-lane Weaver style come out lately in Southeast Asian Dota. Can't say I've been seeing it work out too well, but in some games it has. Like that Tinker Weaver core game was pretty cool the other day. And there's still the potential for someone to work it in here, but for the most part, I think we'll just... Oh, they actually self-banned the Centaur. That's interesting. I thought maybe that would be something Trust would like, but I guess if you have Lone Druid and Centaur War Runner, it's going to be impossible to catch that guy.
I haven't seen a whole lot of love for Ricky, like, in general. Do you think that's Life Stealer, or is it...
Yeah, I guess he's just a dead hero, it seems. I would say he's probably pretty bad in general against Lone Druid, simply because of how fast he moves now. He can just, like, get out of that smoke cloud. He's just, like, gone. Unless you can catch him out, I suppose, before any of his buffs and stuff are in place. But for the most part, yeah, team's just not really digging on him. Maybe if you can abuse a greedy jungler or something like that, you could possibly still see Ricky. But it's true, he kind of fell off the face of the earth.
Unfortunate, dude. I loved me some Ricky. Guess trading that in for some good old Lone Druid Crystal Maid. I'm actually pretty surprised Lone Druid made the first round of...
I'm just adjusting your volume here. It's a little quiet.
Radiant team.
But you just don't worry about it. I have got this under control here, Annie.
Got this, Trent? Okay.
Yeah.
I've had enough volume. Bounty Hunter picked up for Clutch Gamers. Unlikely we're going to see that hot bounty ags, but bounties ball out of control. In elimination mode, we play it for team complex. And that was an impactful game.
5 seconds remaining.
19 minutes.
Annie, your audio's kind of getting out.
No! Here, let me move my mic closer to my face. Is that better?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. Yeah, it was
Okay.
basically just like kind of like self-clipping itself or something. But
Oh, God, no.
yeah. Well, if it's not Ricky, at least it is Bounty though. So we'll have a little bit of that action come out here, and then the Sand King. So that'll be our last of the great offlaners left in the pool, honestly. So perhaps feeling a little bit forced into the pick, but you can still do work.
10 seconds remaining.
And that'll be all on him essentially. It looks like lately
5 seconds
I'm not seeing a lot of Sand King picks here from the side of Trust, but also they haven't played that many games. So only been playing a little bit over the past month or so, so plenty of time to sneak some new heroes into here and figure out exactly where we're gonna wind up. But Clutch, I gotta like that bounty hunter was insane that we had yesterday, Mr. Cat. It was crazy. It was 6 minutes in, and he was level 4, and he had arcane boots, and he was just making an impact in every single lane.
Oh,
And-
jeez.
Oh, yeah. It was just gross. So if he can get up into those Guardian Greaves again and just kind of create that nice bit of sustain, not something you often get out of a 4 roll, could really let this Lone Druid draft go to work. And
Radiant
damn,
team pick.
the Tide Hunter. Another dead hero, but we are talking about all the offlaners being banned out, so it was basically this guy or Nyx Assassin, and it seems that they think Tide is going to fit them a little bit better.
Yeah, this is actually really similar to what Complexity have been running lately, but I guess we're going to see some cross-meta shift going on either way. I do like this. I think Tide Hunter's not too, farm dependent. He can kind of sit in lane and just soak levels, so it's not going to have that huge pressure that sometimes an offlaner can feel.
Yep, not too
Definitely
shabby.
some
Cracking
Real
pretty
big
good.
team fight impacts.
Yes, that as well. So he'll be there to basically guard his Lone Druid. Last thing they would be missing would be someone to follow up on that wombo combo or even set it up a little bit. Couple different ideologies I suppose you could go for here. If you wanted something like along the lines of like a puck, maybe for clutch gamers, that kind of an idea, that stuff is there, although not the most common heroes these days. Just set up nicely, kind of a like a post Tide Hunter play, or can set up into some good Ravages too to allow him to create this sort of space. But some sort of a initiation besides Ravage would probably be pretty nice. You generally don't want to have to use that every time, especially with how cooldown reliant we talk about this meta being right now.
Ross taking their time for pick number 4. I mean, the Sand King is a pretty solid vessel for the Lifestealer, and I think that might just be, his choice. I don't think we're going to see any other Lifestealer huge synergy heroes coming out. I mean, the only ones left are really, I guess, just Ricky in terms of ultra picks that aren't banned out.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, pretty well at this point. a 4-world hero.
5 seconds
Currently, we don't know the mid of Clutch Gamers, which is really difficult for Trust. And wow, they actually will take the Magnus. Okay, I was actually just looking at how Clutch were playing it lately. So that is probably going to end up being mid Magnus, although we've seen plenty of offlane Magnus. Sanking 4 is pretty greedy in a lot of scenarios, and they also have a bounty hunter, so it'd be very difficult to get a lot going, I would say, with him stalking you around the entire map. But Magnus offering up again here a little bit of control, and just making Lifestealer punch extra hard.
Reserve time.
Yeah, Trust are going to have some pretty strong, mid-game team fight. We'll see how Clutch is going to respond to that. I think Clutch are going to have pretty solid lanes, though. Crystal Maiden, especially with the early points in her aura, that's going to make Clutch just very sustainable. They're going to sit back. They're just going to farm up. They're not going to have to leave that often. And they've got nice early roam potential as well. I think they can get themselves off to a good start if Trust are a little too lenient.
Yeah, it looks like Clutch are thinking about the potentials of this being a 4 Sand King, offlane Magnus and whatnot, which it's definitely there. I think the reason you ban the Queen of Pain, even if you're not sure if this could go mid Magnus, would just be because you don't you don't want like Queen plus Sand King or something, because that could actually work. She could like slow down and actually allow the Sand King to kind of do his thing. So if they are going to run this as a 4-world Sand King, it has to be mid with a setup. And OD's actually still left in the pool, which could work, but doesn't synergize too well with a Magnus.
I mean, I guess you can kind of skewer everyone into that Sanity's Eclipse, but that's a bit underwhelming compared to some of the other options available.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we'll have to
They're
see.
going to be going all the way down. They got no reserve time left. They've got to make this pick real quickly.
Tinker.
That'd be a
Okay,
Tinker.
so-
Okay.
Dire
So
team pick.
this is a definite, I would say, difficult game for the Sand King. He would be the person I would be looking at to have the hardest time actually making an impact. Like, we know offlane Magnus is great, and there's no reason not to pick it, but the reason why we start to think, like, I'm not sure if this is going to happen is because of the
10
Sand King, and, like,
seconds
what is he going to be able to achieve? How much can Bounty Hunter scout him out? How much pressure can the Sand King actually
5
put into the
seconds
lane?
remaining.
If there's no one to really set him up for anything. It's going to be hard to get any sort of a burrow strike
Reserve
going,
time.
but Rubik will have to do his best with the telekinesis and see if that's going to work out. And we just try and figure out who they want to send, either mid against the Tinker,
10
or if they decide they'd rather just send the Lone Druid against the Tinker.
Ooh.
Ooh, the Ember. Okay.
Kind of scary here. I mean, both Clutch and Trust now have the potential to take this late. I think the mid laners are going to set a huge tempo for this game.
Yeah, those early game rotations as well. We've seen plenty of teams falter with the Bounty Hunter. He's not exactly the most popular pick for a reason now.
Hey, you be nice. We've seen bounty hunters get real big.
Yeah, like once. I feel like that game yesterday was the first time I've seen Bounty be successful in so long. Just,
So you're talking about the Mr. Cat game or the elimination mode game?
Mr. Cat.
There was one in elimination mode that kicked ass.
Yeah, that's elimination mode. That's not real
That's-
Dota.
Oh.
That's cheating Dota. And when you can't just where you get counterpicked and you don't have any choice.
That's all right. I'll accept that. But, Bounty Hunter's got the potential to be there at least. It's not like he's a completely dead hero with no scale.
Yeah, he can do okay with this like Tide Hunter as well. If they can like Tide needs to get a little bit of a win in his lane going, but then if he can be that kind of annoying Tide Hunter you just can't deal with, then that'll allow Bounty to come and just kind of put that into the next level. But we're in. We made it. No crazy bugs this time. Sigh.
For you, at least.
Yes. No, that's good.
My mini-map icons are so small. I don't know what happened. They're like little pinpoints. They're like the size of the towers.
Oh, that's weird.
That is, yeah, it's all good.
Fair enough. Oh, my goodness. I see a Bing, or rather Rappy, coming right out of the ground here on this Tide Hunter. All I see is his face.
Oh, God, I got that too. That's terrifying. Going to cinematic on that. He looks like he's just rising from the deep.
I'm too scared to because I hear it kept crashing me last time.
I'm going in and out without crashing, but
I'm
hopefully
not doing it.
You're not going to risk it?
No,
Okay, I'll
I can't-
describe
I
it to
can't
the
handle.
viewers.
Thank you. That would be great.
It appears as if Tide Hunter's mouth coming out of the ground.
Okay.
I hope I did justice.
All right. Let me. Okay, we're all good. So lanes being decided here, and yep, as kind of expected here. It looks like we're not getting anything too wild, so they'll be sending the Ember mid. It's kind of a cool matchup with the Ember and the Tinker. We've seen it a couple times lately. Obviously not afraid of it from Clutch Gamers. They're willing to send the Ember into the fray. It's not too brutal. The only really annoying thing as an Ember Spirit is that the laser goes right through. So he can zap you through your Flame Guard, but at the same time, he has this issue where if you get ahead even the slightest bit, like maybe a little bit of assistance as an Ember Spirit, someone just comes in to help you, then you have Flame Guard on top, and Tinker has this problem of like, okay, do I scale up my missiles to like break this Flame Guard? Or do I just like go for March and farm the jungle instead, which is what we tend to see. We'll see like a 202 build or something like that, and just try and bully the Ember using the stuff that won't be blocked, right? You just use this March and or rather you use this laser, and then the March is the one that you use to try and burn through his Flame Guard. But either way, it's kind of interesting. Who keeps pausing here, guys? Oh, it's all.
We're getting in it. What would Mr. Cat be without our ceremonial pause to start things off?
So it's all just Clutch Gamers so far, but they're starting to work through things here. So, all right, wide awake. Gotta shake it off
Lovely,
here.
4 a.m. here.
Oh my
in the,
goodness,
Colorado mountain zone.
Go. Sorry.
No, they're enjoying it. They like that.
I should pause
action.
right now, I think.
Oh, you
Let's
should.
just say go. Sorry, yeah. No, I wisely unbound that very quickly as a caster. Once
the F9 pause key?
Yeah, once the Phenol pause thing happened, I turned off that spectator pause so fast. Of course,
Top looks
as
like
an
we could
admin, I
get some
should have it.
contest.
Oh yeah, they're out of get the hell out of here.
The battle begins.
Not even gonna try and risk the bear to go for it either. Kind of interesting.
Down bottom there was a counter steal, so things going for a 2-2 split. Nothing too action-packed to start things off. I'm really interested to see how these lanes are going to perform and who's going to be rotating first.
Yeah, I suppose we should have looked at this as well. This is the main reason why Bounty Hunter is not picked anymore, I would theorize, would be the fact that he is makes you extremely open to aggro tries. So, yes, they went with this Lone Druid, and that did open up the Crystal Maiden in the jungle. But with a Bounty Hunter as well, that means he's just going to be totally on his own for a bit. So he's not going to get many last hits. He'll probably be okay. But they can pressure. And this is something that super opens up the support Sand King. So maybe if I was a little bit more awake or had my coffee yet, perhaps we would have noticed that in the draft. But all credit to Trust. This makes way more sense as to how you're going to allow your support Sand King to work out well.
We've got Bounty hanging around the mid lane. He was hanging back looking for maybe a super early courier snipe, but he's not going to find it. And we'll see if he's going to stick around the area or head in towards top and maybe go for early-ish pickoff.
Yeah, this is another main reason why Bounty Hunter is getting avoided in the more recent of times. Everyone's ready for that. Like, we got to the point we just had Bounty Hunter every single game. And, yeah, at first, remember, there were a ton of courier snipes. Now there's, like, no courier snipes. No one falls for that anymore. Always have a support come and ferry it. Or in this case, they don't really have one, so Tinker's just got to go at it solo.
Got some mad pings down bottom. Sand King real intent on defending this tier 1. I mean, Magnus for his Tide Hunter doesn't seem like an overly vicious lane. I think Tide should be able to farm up pretty easily. Magnus, he'll get his levels. He'll be able to harass, but I don't think any kills are going to be happening here. Yeah,
pretty unlikely. There is a scenario where they start going for like trading blows, right? Where the Empower comes up and one guy just thinks, okay, I can outman you, and the other guy thinks, no, I can because I'll have Anchor Smash and I have Kraken. So we could see them just kind of fight to the death where one guy lives to like 100 HP.
Yeah, it's just the big bruiser smacking at each other.
Yeah, exactly. One of those tavern brawl lanes going on.
I'm really interested to watch this Tinker, like you mentioned earlier, the fighting build or the farming build, and how he's going to deal with a Bounty Hunter that could constantly be on his tail, breaking those Boots of Travels, forcing him to burn up more mana. So we'll see as the game progresses. Looks like Bounty Hunter is going to at least stick around mid a little bit longer.
Yeah, and he can just attack the Tinker as well to like get the aggro if he
Sentry,
wants. Though. Yeah, I know, but huh?
He's just sitting there.
Yeah, he's not testing right now. Oh, there we go. He'll find out now, but goodbye. And Tinker doesn't even get it. Oh, that's painful. So he doesn't have another sentry with him. And Flyso will be very happy now, so he can just leave and come back later.
Oh, top lane. This bear's getting jumped on.
Yeah, he's trying to do his creep pulls. Oh, they're trying to get the meat back up.
A lot of money, though.
Oh, they did it! They pull the creeps into each other all in the jungle. And this actually kind of works out for a Bing. It's not too bad. He's still getting all the experience. And Locals will just be able to pull this giant wave back as a Bing comes out into a riskier spot and grab because of it.
This is pretty dangerous. They got the Burrow Strike to initiate Lone Druid. Gonna be able to run himself away as Locals is way more interested than farming. Or in farming rather than going for kills.
You can imagine
Lone
if
Druid.
he just hops in on top of like 9 creeps, he probably dies as the lifestealer even. So.
He's working on it. He's pretty tanky even at level 1. He's got some 2 armor for himself, you know.
Yeah, well, good play by Trust to drag that wave all the way back over there, and looks like a little bit of the man up action happening here, and certainly what getting the poor end of that trade, and he's well aware of that at this point, and needs to skewer into the tower. We'll find it. Even that, not too much damage. I love Tidehunter. It's actually personally one of my most played heroes, and this is why he's such a bully. It's great. It's so much fun in lane. You don't buy Stout Shield, which is also pretty awesome. It means you get some really early boots. Just get some levels in your Kraken. You can Ancient. It's great. Of course, that doesn't really matter as much as it used to, but he's just a fun hero. I'm glad to see him back a little bit. He's a great guy to build mech on, of course, but it's all about the Ravage lately as to why no one's really loving him. It is pretty painful. That cooldown, 150 seconds, all levels. That's a long time for teams to counterplay you. I mean, even
Tidehunter is
goes to 100.
pretty deep here.
Oh, this is Tidehunter Dota.
Yeah. I'm far too impatient to play Tide well. I like those full Devi heroes where you can start fighting at level 1. I can't just sit back and farm. I want to fight all the time. So.
Well, he'll fight some small camp creeps. It's pretty great. Get him.
Getting picked on by the Rubik. And Rubik's going to split the XP for this, so maybe not the most value play for Tide, but at least he's stacking up.
Yeah, he's got his bounty here too, so maybe hoping they'll come out from under that tower and try and fight him. Just fly nearby, the two of them could easily take them on, but the rotation from the Rubik down to bottom to help out his Magnus has left a Bing to face just 2 up here, and it's 2 melee, so not too awful of a scenario here for a lone druid, and then creeps pulled in here. I think we'll just be able to farm this up.
Definitely a calm game to start things off. I mean, you look at both sides, and aside from Crystal Maiden and Rubik, the supports here, everyone is pretty tanky. No one's looking to brawl too early on in the game. Everyone's looking for those first round items, so should be a pretty patient early game, but we're going to see some crazy mid-game fights erupt pretty soon.
Yeah, Boombax is getting a ton this game as well. Just almost up into level 4 is Crystal Maiden. Being all alone in the jungle. But she ran into some mud golems, it looks like, and that's pretty much the end of the fun time. Still has 1 camp she can go back to, but not one of the funner ones is Crystal Maiden. Obviously, you just want like big creeps the whole time. And nope, bottom lane, almost the first blood skewer into the bounty. Nicely done. Fly solo, right place. Well set up there.
Here. Sand King moves forward. Burrow Strike's gonna miss. Fei Mao continues the chase, but Fly Solo's just gonna book it out. Oh, the courier snipe here. That would be the extra screw you. 1 hit short, unfortunately. There is going to be a sentry pop down. He's going to go for the TP out, and Fei Mao is not able to go in with the telekinesis. Still on cooldown for 3 seconds.
Ooh, that is rough. Oh, nice pickup. Kind of as expected. Tidehunter, because as Magnus, like, he just played that lane really well as the Tide. With no boots on the Magnus and just early boots on the Tidehunter, he can just run at Magnus the entire time. There's no, like, kiting the Tide around and using Shockwave or anything like that. He committed into a I'm just going to accept your harass and try and duke it out with you sort of a build. So he's just super slow right now as he works in towards that Helm the Dominator. So same build we've been seeing on our Magnuses as of late.
In terms of overall farm, our Ember Spirit's going to be top of the chart, but Lacels has gotten a lot in this top lane. Even after his support started to rotate, he is still feeling super comfortable farming up. Lone Druid can harass, but not really against a Lifestealer.
Yeah, we also haven't talked too much about mid, but Armel has been absolutely crushing it. 41 last hits. He's been in the jungle a little bit here too, but he's got a 400 net worth lead here on this Tinker, and as we discussed, the idea of just skipping the missiles.
Yeah.
He will catch up, though. That's 4 points in the march.
Smart money.
And walking down right into Fly Solo. I mean, you can see Radiant trying their best to keep vision up, but this bounty is going to be annoying, and it's going to cost them resources. And now, Ember Spirit rotating around behind the tower. Maybe they're trying to go for a pick here.
Yeah, they want to use those remnants.
Things coming forward. Fly Solo going to make his way under tower, and it looks like they're just going to walk at him. The courier comes in. It's not going to distract them. TP's coming forward from Sand King, but they get what they want. It looks like they're content to back out unscathed.
All right, easy pickings. Nicely done. Perfect situation for an Ember Spirit early on. And bottom lane, the Brawl Fest continues. What the? He's got Skewer. Oh, man, that was close. Anna almost finding it.
I mean, do you think the Magnus can be left alone, or should he have a support by his side now?
He should be fine. He can just like shockwave and stuff. And then, well, I guess when he has no mana and Skewer's on cooldown, he's in a little bit of trouble. These guys boots now, and he'll working towards some arcane boots before he actually finishes out the helmet, looks like. And I noticed before Hannah had some tranquils, but okay, he did disassemble in time for his Iron Talon, so that's good. Looks like that was not the play, unless he's doing some sort of a cheeky like disassemble play. But obviously, you can't re-disassemble your thing, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
I mean, Todd's got the energy booster.
He's just
queued up.
holding
He
the
wants
ring.
the mana boots.
Yeah, he's just like holding this ring at regen. He's like, I'll get 4 staff eventually. It's fine.
I mean, he can work into Mechanism if he really wants to.
Oh yeah, that as well.
A Bounty Hunter may want to pick up that slack. We'll see. Up top, we are going to have a push in. Looks like, fortunately, our lone druid does get beefed down behind his tower. They killed his bear, too. Oh, no.
Yeah, bottom lane as well. What the? Getting punched up here. And with the shockwave.
Oh, he's going to make it out here. He's going to do it. Crystal Maiden isn't able to find anything. Going to get Burrow Strike up, finished off by the tower. Finally, the Magnus is collected, but now it's coming at a steep cost. Fei Mao moving forward. Does have telekinesis wrapping around. Looking to catch out the Tidehunter. Able to swat out 1 or 2 right clicks, but that's going to be the end of it. Overall, 1-for-1 trade.
And did we lose our... It looks like during that as well, our lone druid went down right before that rotation, I guess.
No, it was top lane.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's no bueno.
All right, 4 a.m. casting may not be my most awake time. It's all good, man. Fly Solo sitting behind this tier 1 tower. He's doing pretty well in terms of experience, almost hitting that level 6. He'll get his tracks going up, and I think that's when we're going to start to see Dire get a little bit more active on the map. Oh, going in. Nice toss. They bring in the Remnant from Amel. He wants to move forward, but he's going to get lifted up. The missiles come out, but they still have the damage there from the Flame Guard to get down Amel. Or rather to get down PP.
Yeah, now the said tracks shall arrive, so makes Armel's life even easier. Just stalk people, just throw out these giant triple remnants, and make sure he's in the right place at the right time across the entire map. Now has his veil done, and what level is he? Level 10, the dream. This is the perfect scenario when you hit level 10 and have veil at the exact same time. So he just like wants to go kill again. Just wait till his remnants come back up and then make some sort of a rotation somewhere. Could even be queued up with the next Ravageers. That'll be in 50 seconds. And it might be time to start eyeing up objectives.
Feeling really, really comfortable. He's 2-0 in lane. He's top of the net worth chart by a pretty decent margin. Lakel's the only one giving him any sort of contest, and that's just been a free farming life stealer. Now here we go, mid lane. Fei Mao going to get initiated upon, and we're just going to see another easy pickings for that Ember Spirit.
They just have nothing against this guy. Like, Rubik's the best chance they have at actually doing something here, but...
Crystal Maiden smoked up as well. Her smoke's going to break. We are going to see Sand King go forward. He has that Burrow Strike, but he's just going to get plucked down. That's now 4-0 for our mid-Ember Spirit. It's starting to get out of control here.
Yeah, and these are track kills now. So the gold adds up. I mean, you're getting 197 there on this Bounty Hunter. And, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do for their builds, too. So, looks like Rappy will go for the... at least the headdress. Now he's queuing up Blinks, so maybe they're not sure. He might end up being the guy who goes in towards like a pipe or something and let Fly Solo head in towards the mech. And yeah, he'll queue that up now too. So, I mean, that's another great thing about Bounty and Tidehunter, though. Just having that 4-roll who can actually build into this mechanism is great for a Tidehunter. Because although the item is great for your hero, you can just do so much work with Blink Daggers and Force Staffs. And then, of course, the pipe. It's also pretty nice. You know what we really need is Helm Tide. That's the play. You just you grab the net creep, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just run at them. Actually, you just grab the
Siren.
Purge creep, yeah. What can't you do? It's Tide.
Oh, looks like our Ember Spirit, he's done messing around. He's going straight back in for the... Oh, my goodness. Please relax, dude. He's now 5-0. If he goes down here, that's going to be a huge bounty going away, but he has his Remnant, able to make it back in towards the river. What the... Not able to capitalize. He doesn't have enough mana for RP. Doesn't have the mobility to go in for like a blink skewer or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he didn't skip stick RP on his first choice there, but I think because Burrow was still on cooldown at that point, he wasn't willing to go for it. But they gotta find a kill in this Ember. They need to do something because Armel is completely out of control. He's now what 3,000 gold essentially out of this Tinker. He's got his boots of travel before the Tinker. That's a problem. That is not good. We're still like 800 gold away here.
Yeah, the levels are starting to get a little bit ugly as well. He's level 12 and a quarter. Compare that to the Tinker's 9.5. So he's already hit that level 10. He picked that first branch of the skill tree, and that's spell amp, dude. These remnants are going to hurt even more.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, you hit level 12, they get doubled. So it just, reaching an insane new degree of damage at level 12.
He's got himself
he can't even
here,
be this
so
close, honestly.
Spell amp is stupid now on this Ember Spirit. We're going to see NT have a little surprise inside. He's got that Lifestealer Bomb, unloading it onto Crystal Maiden, and they will find a free pick onto the CM, but it is only a jungle CM. Maybe Dire can actually turn this around. Lakel's going to be distracted by the bear. He's going to get rooted up, tracked up, and looks like there is going to be a burrow strike on the back lines. Sand King channeling up the epicenter, wants to go after the Lone Druid, but Lone Druid may just make it away. One more hit, and it would have been enough, but there's a salve channeled up, and now Lakel's going to work on Fly Solo. The rest of the Dire just kind of leaving this one alone. Unfortunately, Fly Solo left on his own. Now we have the Ember Spirit moving forward, pops out the Veil. They are able to get that hold onto the Sand King, who's just completely obliterated. 6-0 now. They get the freeze. Oh, they're going for more. Crystal Maiden's dancing. They want to get Lakel's down, and it looks like it's going to be a double kill. Ember Spirit is off to the best start I think I've seen on this hero.
Yeah, this probably is the best Ember game I've seen since the start of this new Ember, honestly. It can't get any better, can it? He's 7-0-0. He's 100 last hits. It's 13 minutes
He's 1,000
in.
off a Blink Dagger at 13 minutes.
Yeah. That was actually such a sick play by Bing, too, because he went for the Roar on the Lifestealer instead of the Sand King. Even though there's a Sand King sitting next to you, channeling Burrow, or rather channeling Epi, it's kind of scary, but he made the right call, that knowing that it wouldn't be enough damage to kill him. Just had to make sure that there wasn't any control with the open wounds coming out from the Lifestealer. So, very clutch decision there from him, and that's what ensured his survival.
Now we're going to see the rest of the Dire just going in, pushing this tier 1 top, and they know that Radiant, they're not too keen on defending this. You can see the aggressive positioning by the Ember, and he's just not even feeling spooked. He has a right to feel cocky right now.
They need
We'll
to
see
try
if they're gonna
something,
jump
though.
him. Gonna go in for the telekinesis. They've got the RP available. There's the net creep. They're trying to blow him up. Does he have time to get off a remnant? Looks like he will be able to get back. He's actually hopping into the fight again. Oh no, it's all just turning terrible. He's now godlike at 14 minutes into the game. Level 13 already.
It almost worked, but Tide bailing off with just the headdress meant he got this Blink Dagger nice and early. And so he's able to hop right in there with the save plays on the Ravage. Very, very nicely executed here from Clutch Gamers, and they're running all over Trust before this Tinker can get close to amounting to anything.
Yeah.
Still just
Armel has a
bots and
Blink
soul.
Dagger of his own. And he's going in, going to be building himself up a Dagon, because that's what an Ember Spirit needs to be fair and balanced.
Fair enough. Good way
And
to
he's
use the spell
gone
amp.
for the spell amp. He has the Veil of Discord. Why not just boost someone up?
Hey, he's basically playing like a puck right now, essentially. In terms of like that more traditional idea as to when to buy Dagon on that hero. So not opting towards a Maelstrom. He's like, yeah, this will be fine, I'm sure. Doesn't really need a Linken's, doesn't do anything, so.
It's looking tough. You look at the overall net worth, and it is about 12,000 in favor of Clutch right now. Experience is even uglier, and a huge chunk of that just because our Ember Spirit's been keeping up with the level per minute, and now he is level 14 at 15 minutes in. There's a track away onto the Sand King. He doesn't have a blink. He doesn't have a force. He's going to get frozen in place, and Crystal Maiden just letting it roar, and it's Ember Spirit that picks up the kill with his Flame Guard, so, you know, that's what your Ember needs. More
Yeah, I would
kills.
say so. Just a couple more here.
Really get him off to a solid start, you know. Let him try to fend for himself for a little bit. No, he's balling out of control. If you're Radiant right now, what do you possibly do to deal with the Ember? Because the longer you ignore him, the scarier he gets.
Yeah, you just have to try and go for some sort of an RP play. You just save RP for this guy. You try and get a kill with it. You hope for the best. If you have the Infest, the Leap Out, and then perhaps one more damage item on Lakel's, he might have to just settle for the Echo Saber, but that heavy physical damage is what they really need if they want any hope of trying to bring him down.
Tidehunter about 40 gold off of a pipe right now, so it's going to be even harder to lock down Dire's side. There's a decent chunk of magical damage on Trust.
It's so
they
important in
can't
this game too.
do much with it, yeah.
Yeah, like you need it even just to protect your creep waves.
Rubik with the stolen Shadow Walk and the Infest Bomb. This is as close as you're going to get to a Ricky.
Well, they have no idea.
Oh, they're going Crystal Maiden. I mean, they might be able to find that pick. The Savage Roar tries to drive him away. They're able to get that early one, but I mean, Ember Spirit's not too concerned. He's pushing out bottom lane, and this team is still able to hold this.
Kind of depressing when that's the kill you have to go for, but at the same time,
As
understandable.
a 5-man gank for a Crystal Maiden.
Yeah.
It's something, though.
Situation
they keep
they're
themselves
in.
on the board. Sand King gonna get focused down. He's got the Burrow Strike, but
Middle tower is under attack.
How about another
Ow.
surprise invis?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, that it just looks like it hurts. You've had pubs where there's a carry that's just so far ahead on the enemy team, and you just feel like you're walking food for him.
That would be a
we'll see.
that would be like whose lane was this guy in situation, I think.
Radiant's middle
Not
Yeah.
that Tinker had much
Trying to
choice in
figure out
this
who
one.
to flame.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crystal Maiden, at least able to frostbite up the helmed creep. Get a little bit for herself. She's died 3 times, so
Dire's top
you know, holding her team back, I'd say, is really the
3
gist
of the
of it.
5 deaths.
No, in all seriousness, Clutch are playing this phenomenally, and it's not that Trust are playing poorly, it's just Ember Spirit got on a roll, and that's what this hero does. He's now so mobile, he's able to be anywhere on the map. His team can fight with him, without him, and it's very hard to put the brakes on this team.
It is surprising that they didn't try and put any early pressure, because like they put no early pressure on the Tinker. There was a Crystal Maiden jungling the entire time, not doing anything. And the first rotation was a Rubik TPing down to a Magnus in a 1v1 versus a Tidehunter at like 6 minutes or so. It's just kind of surprising. Like they weren't able to punish anything. They didn't punish the Ember. They didn't punish the off lane. They barely punished the lone Druid. They couldn't quite figure out exactly like where to get these lanes going or how to best use the Sand King.
I mean, Sand King's had a couple of decent initiations. The problem is they just don't have the damage or the actual lockdown to hold anyone in place and finish them off. So, I mean, you see Trust being able to jump and actually find the kills. They just can't do anything about someone living. So it looks like Roche now coming out for Clutch Gaming. Nice and quick, nice and easy. And even if Radiant knew exactly what was going down, there's no way they could have contested that. So Aegis and the lone Druid, they're going to leave Ember Spirit to his own devices, making sure our bear can scale up. And he's been doing a really nice job here. Has a full Mjolnir ready to go. A couple of 100 gold.
Jeez. All right. Well, he went for the full Deso instead of the Echo Saber. I like this item for sure. Obviously, always on Lifestealer. I think he could have got more value probably this game, or like earlier on if they wanted to fight. The Echo Saber would have meant that the Empower just would have had so much more use because you'd be like doubling up that hit. But opting for this instead just means that their timing is going to be a little bit later. We're finally there. So perhaps he was hoping that at this point he would have a better initiation tool. But sadly, we still don't have a Blink, I don't think, available. No. Sand King's still working on it, and Magnus still working on it as well. So it's like now you still have this Deso, and you still can't fight. So still falling further and further behind. But to their
And
credit,
Tinker's got his blink.
yeah, that is true, I
He's
suppose.
trying, he's going, he's pushing out, he's keeping the tier 2s up for the most part.
Sadly,
But
he's
it's
also
still,
the one guy without the stun.
It's a grim game. Maybe he should get a Dominator and grab up the net creep.
Dire's structures are
But then it can't blink Annie.
It's okay. Okay, we're gonna have Lakel's just go and try to focus down this tower, but Tidehunter just goes for a quick deny. Screw you, Lakel's. Following up with a gush, and now the rest of the Dire are wrapping around. There's gonna be a Ravage busted out onto only a Sand King. But, you know, Sand King goes down nonetheless. They get Lakel's out of his body. Now Lakel's looking for a quick pick onto the Crystal Maiden, but the mech means this may not even be possible. Oh gosh, the Crystal Maiden can live against the full force of a Lifestealer, and this is just going to be absolute murder coming forward. Telekinesis to hold Amel in place, but it's not enough. The track kills are scaling out of control. It's already going to be, how many track kills have we seen? Because Bounty Hunter's been super on top of them.
A lot. They might get the Aegis down bottom. Still not
That's
quite.
that's a sad consolation prize to hope for. Like maybe under the tier 3s they'll be able to get an Aegis, but no, they don't get an Aegis. Instead, it's just going to be a 14-0 into Ember Spirit. starting to chew apart your structures.
Yeah, this is definitely a make it stop situation. I think Trust plan not working out. The Tinker was super greedy, and the fact that they just picked this Ember and walk all over him just destroyed any hope that they had with this draft.
We're 21 minutes into the game, and it's about a 25,000 net worth lead for Clutch.
They basically had 3 lanes that couldn't set up for a Sand King, and so there's a bounty hunter in the enemy team, so you can't even like go and do any like double stacks with Caustic or anything like that. Sand King couldn't get rolling at all, couldn't kill anyone. It was just kind of dead weight, and that just meant that there was no one else to help your Tinker. So,
All right, let's crunch some quick estimates here. If by some miracle Trust get their act together and they're able to kill off the Ember Spirit and they fully wipe Clutch Gaming, that is a huge payday. Is that enough to turn it around?
I mean, you're never out with Magnus or Darkseer, so
There's no Darkseer in this game.
Yeah, I know, but those are the 2 heroes. Vacuum
okay.
and RP. Those are the 2 you can't lose for sure, because it's eventually teams, I've seen so many games where they just walk in and either this insane vacuum happens or this insane RP happens and 5 heroes are dead for nothing. But sometimes I also see the enemy team just entirely 5-man buyback and run at you, and then you lose. So that could happen. But with a Magnus, who knows? Perhaps they can get a giant wombo combo going. Lakel's gets crazy farmed. The only issue is that they still have a lot of problems with like actually locking down Armel, but he hasn't gone for any sort of defensive item, so perhaps that'll get punished. We'll have to see.
Crystal Maiden just casually ulting in top lane to get down the creep wave.
Oh yeah, that's the play.
Like Dire, they're gonna go take out this top shrine. Already got the bottom one again after they cracked bot lane, took out those racks. They can go and make sure Radiant are totally confined to their base. The Tinker, he can still escape with his boots of travels and whatnot, but it's looking real tough. I'm trying to figure out, you know, even if the Ember Spirit just AFK'd and walked down middle for the rest of the game, if there would still be a chance. And the Lifestealer can scale up nicely. And you talked about the Magnus never quite being out, but it feels like the gold advantage and the level advantage is just so steep.
Yeah, we still haven't even seen a true Infest bomb yet this entire game as well. I think we had one like long-range burrow strike into a Rubik.
Oh, we had the Rubik who stole Shadow Walk walking in. They found that Crystal Maiden pick.
Even then, it's weak sauce.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And now we have a smoked Tide.
Oh! Did you see that?
Yeah.
Just the Ethereal Blade Dagon level 2 on the Ember Spirit. This is some BM going on. Oh, Ravage coming in. Looks like RP was trying to be set up for. It will not be completed. Sand King maybe thinking about an ult, but he's going to die as well. And it's just absolute destruction.
Yep.
Going
Ultra
for here on the Radiant side.
Call GG
oh, he's going to go for it. Come on, man. You got it. Yeah, Rampage comes out.
Still called
DG called
first.
as this was just not a winnable game for the Radiant.
No, they just would have needed like a crazy snowball going or something, or had they killed the lone druid top a couple times maybe and forced down the tower. There's some potential there, but he did a great job of manipulating the creeps up there, and I feel like Sand King couldn't recover from that because he's like, all right, well, I'm not doing anything up here. I'm just kind of walking in circles around my Lifestealer versus lone druid, but I don't want to leave him, and I want to kill this lone druid and be a threat. And then you have this Rubik who is the TP down bottom against a Tide Hunter, but he can't do anything there. So they just had 2 supports that did nothing in the first like 5 minutes. And you're not going to win Dota if that's happening. Like, at least Crystal Maiden's farming the entire time, and Bounty Hunter's putting pressure on these other lanes and forcing out that gold to happen. But Clutch just had a draft that did not snowball as hard as it would have had to, or in how they envisioned, I imagine.
Yeah, just checking the scoreboard, looking at Armel's net worth. He was almost 18,000 net worth in that pretty short game. And then you had heroes like the Rubik that was 912 net worth on the Radiant. So definitely a difficult game, but let's see how Trust can redeem themselves. Again, we got a 2-game series. Let's see if they can tie it up in game number 2.
Yeah, well, we will be back in just a moment here, guys. So stick around for our second game of our 2-game series. And these are, of course, just group stage, so no direct elimination.